Hello there, I'm Renno and this is a video for tipsquirrel.com, and in this video we'll be working on this image here of this young lady. Now hopefully you can't see very well what I've done because subtlety is going to be the key here. Now hopefully while you're looking at this you're not going something's wrong, but it will look like that in just a moment. We'll come back to this in just a second. Let me show you where I got this image from. It's from a website known as Stock Exchange, and it's called Female Portrait 2, uploaded by Gilu. And if you're new to photography or you'd like to know how photographs are taken, then there's this nice little EXIF data box here as well with all the photographs on this website. Very helpful indeed. Okay, let's go back to the image that I've been working on, and like I say, I've already done what I'm setting out to do on this, and hopefully you don't notice, but now I'm going to zoom into the young lady's eyes, and then I'm going to turn off this group here, which is the group in which I've been working, and when I turn it off you can see that her eyes change, not a great deal but enough that it makes some difference. So that's without and that's with. Now hopefully we're giving it some life and some health to the eyes. Let me zoom back out again, and if you're watching this as big as it can go on YouTube or on tipsquirrel.com, you'll be able to see this much clearer as I go off and on. I think it changes her whole appearance just by having that little bit of shine to her eyes. Now that you know it's there, it's probably annoying you a little bit, so let's turn it off and let's go and add it. So I'm going to choose the picture layer here and then make a new layer. I'm going to zoom in now to the young lady's eyes here, just so it makes it easier to work on. And with the brush, quite small I want to go, so I'm going to go right the way down. I think it's about 8 that I want to be on, quite small, and then I want to be very soft, so hardness all the way down to 0, and I'm going to just put a dot there and a dot about there, trying to match them up reasonably well, and then take the opacity down to 35–40%. There we are. That's that bit done. Let's create a new layer, and then we're going to make the brush a bit bigger. This time let's bring the hardness up to around about 80%, and let's bring the, I'm just pressing the right square bracket to make the brush bigger and then the left square bracket to make it smaller, and I want it just smaller than the iris of her eyes, and then just bring it in just slightly and then plop it down, and then do the same over here. It should be roughly about the same size. That's good. And drop it down. Okay, not looking good so far. Let's add a layer mask. Just click the layer mask icon down the bottom here of the layers palette, and then with black as my foreground color I can then start nibbling away at these white patches. So I can just nibble away till I get the shape that I want, which is following the roundness of her eyes the best I can. Maybe a bit too much there. Okie doke. And then this same on this side, just nibbling away, nibble nibble nibble. Good. And where we're overlapping the eye there, of course, we've already got the black on there, so we can just get rid of that, and there we have it. Let's drop the opacity of this layer down, right down to somewhere around the 10–15% mark. So it's very subtle indeed. If I turn that off and then on again, you can see it's very, very subtle. Now the other thing I did was I changed the eye color, so I'm going to go back to layer 1, which is the picture layer, and then I'm going to come down to this black and white icon here and choose solid color, and I'm going to choose a nice sort of greeny color. I think let's go quite a dark green, and then we can fill this box here with the with black, so it's my foreground color, so Alt and backspace. And then I can go and get my brush, which we know is roughly about the right size already, so let's just use the right square bracket to make it a bit bigger, and with white, so X to change the foreground and background colors, and I can just dab it down and dab it down. Oh, that one missed, didn't it? Let's try again. Dab it down just like that. Okay, let's change the colors again, X, because we want to get rid of these. Now I need it to be a bit softer really, so let's go and change the softness of this. Oops, wrong way. Let's go down. There we go, and we can make that a bit of a change. That's maybe a bit too soft. Let's come up to about 20%. Okay. There we go, and then we can do this one. Maybe still a tad soft. Okay, and then we'll change the blend mode of that to colour, just like that, and we'll drop the opacity of the layer right down as well, just to give it just a subtle hint of colour. Okay, now that may look all a bit too fake, but remember, you've seen it being put together. When you saw it for the first time earlier on, it looked much better, didn't it? But there we go. Oh, maybe let's take the opacity down, right down. There we go. That's better. So that's before and after. That's better. And there we are. So we've really boosted this young lady's eyes in the health and in the shininess of them. It looks much better. And there we go. It only took us what, 6 minutes? I'm Renno. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget, there's a whole host more at tipsquirrel.com, written by some very generous people. So if you like the site, please share it with your friends. That's why we do it, and that's how we manage to keep it absolutely free. Until next time, thanks very much for bearing with me.